Welcome back to Game On, and so much to talk about with regards to the local game and the Colleague Knockout Final, to a point where we will focus on the game now and have a special interview as a nice little surprise for you. Coming up on the third segment, speaking to Clinton Larsen. But for now, we talk game. I've got the pleasure of sitting alongside Jerry Squasana. Let's talk about it. Sundowns come into this game against Magesi, or Magesi against Sundowns, maybe I should say. And do we have new giant slayers in South African football? And how do Sundowns get it wrong with 8 Bafana internationals in the starting 11 and still see Magesi coming from behind? Where was the big change of the difference here?
Oh, Sizwe, oh my. I thought I saw it coming when we spoke about the final in our last edition, but unfortunately, I did say it was going to be difficult for Sundowns because I was looking at the point of having all the Sundowns players with the Bafana going outside in terms of traveling and stuff, and then you're going to play a major cup final in South Africa.
That was
Bafana Thursday.
Yeah.
And now they're playing Saturday, again, away from home. Sometimes when you travel away, when you come back, you want to meet the family and stuff. But I don't think that's what happened with Sundowns. I mean, you look at the starting lineup of Sundowns against Magesi. That team can beat any team in the PSL if I have to put it like that. But unfortunately, I can give it to Magesi. When I say unfortunately, it's like their mentality. You know, the way they play, the way they work inside the field. And you look at all the 4 games that they played away from home, even though they were like the home team in the final, but they were away from home. But that was a home for the head coach, Clinton Larsen.
But school Sundowns good the first half. I mean, when you look at the chances, they got all the chances first half. As in Ronan Williams in the first half from a defensive point of view with Sundowns. Was the game lost in that first half, Sundowns, by not being able to score more than just the 1 goal?
I think that's where they've just given all their resources in terms of saying, yes, we know maybe it's going to take its toll against the players that come from the Bafana trip. So let's give it our all in the first half. I mean, that was maybe the game plan. But unfortunately, Chipezeze was there. I mean, the last line of defense was just so magnificent. Yes, he got 1 goal, but he did well. And it was good for Marumo Gallants because it showed immediately on the second half. Magesi started changing the tune and they got that early goal. And that's where it tells you that, you know, it was more like, let's sit back, relax and hold them.
Yeah.
That's the game plan of the coach. Let them get frustrated. There's 1 goal, we might come back. And that's exactly what happened with Magesi in terms of Clinton Larsen planning.
It all starts with a good defense. Hold them. Chipezeze, unbelievable good tournament. Easily the player of the tournament. 4 matches, 4 men of the match awards. Even in the final with Ronan Williams on the other side, now who was outstanding. Chipezeze.
Hey, you know, if I was the chairman of Magesi, of course, I mean, I wouldn't worry about the incentive of the of Chipezeze. I mean, he played 4 games. Last 16 quarterfinal, semi-final, and the final. Man of the match. That's a 400K. Because each man of the match is 100K. So that's an incentive on its own. But I want to just take it to the other angle to say, you're looking at this goalkeeper that is just so good in the PSL, you know, coming from the championship, Motsepe championship, and coming back and be the top goalkeeper in the PSL. People ask themselves to say, why was he let go to go and play in the lower division when he looks this good? Because, I mean, there's nobody who can get 4 men of the match in the cup. Like
every game.
He was like the pillar of strength in terms of the last line of defense for Magesi.
It's worth remembering, Chipezeze was outstanding when out in Gqeberha, Orlando Pirates played against Ibaroka in the then Telkom same competition, the League Cup, and Baroka had the beating of Pirates on that day. So, Navele, he's proven over the years to be a very good keeper, especially on the big stage. But let's talk going forward now. They withstand the pressure. Clinton Larsen. Second half, they start to play a bit more, get a few more box entries, it gets much better. Where do they get it right on that left side? And Chilamba Ndare, how important was he on that left side?
I think for me, I would always give credit to the boy that I always talk about. I mean, Wonderboy Makugu. I mean, when he started the second half, it was a little bit different. Because for him, it's not about when you talk about a striker and then you want to see somebody scoring goals. Look at the effect or the impact that he did in the game, you know, to disturb the defense because of his mobility. He's a good striker for me. It's not because he's not scoring goals. People want to look at that and say, why is somebody who was scoring goals talking about somebody who's not scoring? But for me, I look at the impact that it brings, you know, to create those spaces for Abu Kakora, Abu Chirambandare in terms of crosses. You look at the first goal when the cross was made. He's the one that takes defenders, and then unfortunately, he had a little bit of a slip, and that concentration level in terms of the people that were marking him, it was gone because he took them away with him. And then it was an easy header that got by a Kakora to score. So you always look at those things and say the contribution, but also the defense. These guys, they can mark very well.
Clinton Larsen, no Mzava. They beat Sundowns back 2012, Telkom knockout final. They both come back now. Magesi, Mzava's there amongst the experienced players, of course, defensively, and they do so well defensively. And they beat Sundowns again. Clinton Larsen, and just the fact that he's taking this no-name brand that's Magesi, and it's the most talked about club in South Africa right now.
Let's go back to what I just said in terms of Chipezeze. Being a good goalkeeper, you've mentioned when they beat Pirates at Tebecha in the then Telkom Cup.
Telkom knockout,
Telkom knockout. What is a good keeper showing the day. Now you come with Clinton Larsen. I mean, we're talking about beating Sundowns when he was still with Bloemfontein Celtics to show his pedigree in terms of being a good coach in the PSL. But he was also let go, and then he had to go down to the championship and come back, and to Mzava as well. I mean, this is the consistency that you always want to see in terms of the veterans in your team, and they are contributing a lot. So for me, big up to Clinton, Mzava. This is their territory where they always demolish Sundowns. I mean, they did it with Celtics years back. Now, again, with Magesi, against the same team, Sundowns.
Yeah, quite a return for Larsen and Mzava to Bloemfontein, of course, to lift yet another trophy. And we take our hats off to Magesi for a lovely performance in the way of the Telkom, or rather, the Carling knockout. And congratulate them on a job well done in some rather impressive results as the new giant slayers of South African football. On the other side of this, Clinton Larsen joins us here on Game On.